Zoom has become such a part of our lives. I think people are actually getting Zoomed. So we're going to try and keep it as quick as we can. Um, hopefully we'll be able to let you get away before 8 o'clock. I know that there's something happening in West Wicklow tonight. So I think you've got another Zoom to go to after that. So you'll be well and truly Zoomed by the end of the night. So thank you for joining us, everybody. We have 32 attendees at the webinar. Hopefully we have an interesting presentation for you tonight. We have a welcome from Breege Kilkenny, a Director of Services, Wicklow County Council. And then we're going to hear about the SEC programme from myself, Gavin Harte, and from Simon Whelan, the County Mentor for Wicklow. And then we're going to get a communities experience from Finian McAvoy and Lara Glendalough, SEC. And then an introduction, I suppose, to the outputs of your SEC from Alex Hamilton, who's the Senior Energy Engineer in 3CEA, the Three Counties Energy Agency. She's going to talk about the Energy Master Plan. And then finally, we'll wrap up with Jim Callerley in Wicklow County Council, who's going to give us, I suppose, the county's perspective, the county partner. And we're delighted to have Wicklow County Council as a stakeholder in this whole play. So really, we've got a really excellent square here. We've got ourselves as the mentors and regional coordinator. We've got the community, we've got the county council, and we've got the engineers who produce the products, I suppose, for communities. I think it's a very rounded workshop, and hopefully it'll give you a good idea as to what the Sustainable Energy Programme is all about. So we would invite people to use the chat function, please do, or ask questions through there if there's anything. But we're going to just kind of run through it, and if people want to stay on for a little bit longer at the end for questions and stuff, we're happy to do that as well. But we're going to try and keep the seminar, the webinar itself, to about a total of 50 minutes. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Breege Kilkenny, Director of Services in Wicklow County Council, to join us.
Okay, good evening and welcome. As Gavin was saying there, my name is Breege Kilkenny and I'm the Director of Services of Wicklow, responsible for planning, environment and climate action. I'd like to welcome everyone who has joined us here this evening on this first Wicklow County Council Sustainable Energy Communities, or SEC webinar. I understand that there are over 50 participants who have registered for this evening's presentations, and I thank you all for your interest and participation. The purpose of the webinar is to raise awareness about what exactly an SEC is and how a local community with an interest in energy and climate change can come together to gain knowledge and expertise and make their mark in their own local community with regard to energy efficiency and renewables, contributing to lowering greenhouse gas emissions in their own area. Firstly, in terms of gaining knowledge and learning about energy, the SEC will learn about the amount of energy and the type of energy that's used in their locality. Following on from this, the SEC members will also learn how to work towards a community who will use energy sources efficiently, consider the use of more renewables, and to see if smarter energy solutions could be deployed in their area. The programme provides technical support and will open up access to grants. So currently in Wicklow, we have 6 SECs registered, which I understand is one of the highest participation rates of communities across the country. Wicklow has been one of 3 local authorities along with Kildare and Meath, to pilot the partnering of communities on the grant application for an energy master plan. So our 6 SECs, they are Glenmalure, Lara, Newtown Mount Kennedy, Greystones Delgany, Wicklow and Blessington. So we in the council believe that there are many more people interested in energy and in setting up an SEC as a mechanism for local people to get involved in actively doing something, particularly areas in the south and west of the county, like Arklow, Baltinglass, Tinnahealy, Dunlavin. We could certainly see lots of interest there, and if people can come together. So the purpose of tonight's webinar is to garner that interest and encourage people to become an SEAC, to gain support and advice from the existing network, and start feeling good about doing, their own little piece, however small, for the environment and for climate change. Because one thing is certain, we cannot make inroads into tackling the effects of climate change nationally without the participation and involvement of our local communities. So, as Gavin has pointed out, we're very fortunate that we have 4 speakers making presentations this evening. Firstly, Gavin and Simon from ODEMA will outline exactly what an SEC is and how you can set up and register as an SEC. What is the aim of an SEC and what you can expect to achieve. So then Gavin and Simon are then followed by Finian McAvoy from the Lara Glendalough SEC, who will outline their experiences to date. And I'm delighted to see one of our own Wicklow communities who have been through the energy master planning process, giving us some of the insights as a community group on the programme. So a significant first step for any SEC is the development of an energy master plan for the community. And Alex Hamilton, who is a senior energy engineer with 3 Counties Energy Agency, will take you through what an energy master plan will entail. And last but not least, our own Jim Callery, who is our Environmental Awareness Officer. He will outline the role of Wicklow County Council as the facilitation partner for your SEC, assisting you with regard to general support, but also assistance in grant application for projects that you may want to advance arising from your energy master plan. So to start things going now, I'm going to return back to Gavin to come in and give us the description of what an SEC is all about. Okay, Gavin?
Lovely, thank you. Okay, so welcome everyone and thanks for coming. ODEMA, we are the energy agency for Dublin, and it's our aim to accelerate Dublin's low carbon transition in order to mitigate the effects of climate change and improve the lives of citizens. We are the proved SEAI mentor for the National Sustainable Energy Community Programme, or the SEC programme, in the Dublin and Mid-East region. We provide local SEC mentoring services to communities in Meath, Kildare, Wicklow, Fingal, Dublin City, South County Dublin, and Dunleary Rathdown. This means that we are here to help you to set up your own community SEC. We are a mentor, a free resource to help you through this journey of learn, plan, do. We're very fortunate in Wicklow to have Simon Whelan as the local county mentor, and Simon is going to talk after me to introduce himself and how he can support communities in Wicklow. But we also have in Wicklow a fabulous partnership with the local authority, with Wicklow County Council. So they're serving this function as a lead partner applicant. To put the context on this, the programme for government set a very ambitious target to retrofit 500,000 houses to B2 standard by 2030. It's clear that such an ambitious target can never really be achieved on a one house by one house basis. We really do need to aggregate these jobs. People need to work together in communities and estates and in towns and villages throughout the country if we're ever to achieve such an ambitious target. And I suppose this is what the Sustainable Energy Programme is attempting to do. This is a national programme run by SEAI. It's a funding and support programme to help communities to work together to become energy smart. And right now there are over 400 communities in the SEC network, and this is climbing all the time. And it's open for all to join. All you need is an ambition to improve the energy performance of your community. The SEC network is here to help communities to lower energy bills, make homes and community buildings more comfortable, boost local employment opportunities, build local community energy knowledge, and make your community a leader in sustainable energy. And joining the network is easy. There are 3 steps to the programme. Basically, you start out in the network at Learn. We'll get an opportunity to share your expertise with other communities around the country. And then when you're ready, you can move towards partnership. And this is where you start to put your energy master plan together and head towards actually projects. So this is a learning process where mentors are available to help you at each step along the way. So as I said, the first step is network, and joining the network is easy. As I keep saying to communities, it takes about 10 minutes to join the network. And when you do join, you have access to a mentor like Simon then for a whole day, where you can learn what it means to build a sustainable energy community. So those supports are there for you the whole way along through Learn, Plan, and Do. The next step after network is moving to partnership. And this is where you apply for funding to carry out an energy master plan. This means your community can draw funding of between 10, 15, and even 20,000 euro, depending on how much energy and the size of your community. And this money can be used, as I said, to develop an energy master plan, which we're going to look at in a little bit more detail with Alex. The energy master plan is an inventory of all your community's energy use. It will help you to identify local energy opportunities in energy efficiency and renewable energy. You can investigate sustainable transport and build smart energy systems in your area. So CODEMA are here to help you on this journey. That's our job. We, as the regional coordinators for the Dublin and Mideast region, have got an excellent team of mentors, of which Simon is one, and we share and exchange information across the region to learn and help communities go through the 3 steps. So the steps, again, just to remind you, you join the network. That's the 10 minutes online at the SEAI website. You will be assigned a mentor who can then help you when you're ready to apply for funding and your SEAI Energy Master Plan. And with that Energy Master Plan, you have the bones of really, I suppose, a business plan, a plan for the next 3 or 4 years to make your community a sustainable energy community. So do take this opportunity, as I say, to contact Simon directly or anyone in CODEMA, and to visit the SEAI website where you can join the network as a very simple step, and you will be allocated a mentor to help you along your way. So hopefully not a fairly quick and speedy introduction to the SEC program, but I'd like to hand over to Simon now, where he can share his insights from a county level.
Thanks, Gavin. How's it going, everybody? Simon Whelan is my name. I've no slides or anything like that. I just wanted to introduce myself to you and show my face. I'm the mentor for Wicklow. So I'm the person who works on the ground with the communities, kind of, well, face-to-face, virtually these days. But I'd be the person who would be talking with you and bringing you through the program. There's currently Breach said there were 6. There are 6 SECs in the plan stage, so they're in their energy master plan. They're in the 2nd stage of the program. 2 others coming up behind them, so we have actually 8. We've got Enniskerry and Kilcool coming as well. So we actually have 8 active SECs in Wicklow at the moment. So there's a wealth of experience coming in Wicklow at the moment, and there's loads of enthusiasm. And there's a great wealth of knowledge there for other communities to tap into. Personally, I'm involved in the Greystones and Dalgony SEC. I started that a couple of years back. So I have experience of the community side of things, of actually applying and getting the funds and going through the plan stage and things like that. And I also have the experience with the CODEMA side, the consultant side and things like that. So my main goal here is to help, is to make things, make life easy for you guys in the program. So your success is my success in this case. So from day one, from when you sign up, and it's really easy to sign up, as Gavin said, it just takes 10 minutes, 5 minutes if you're quick, to sign up. And from that day, I'm allocated time to you. So you have one full day of me, about 8 hours of work to actually figure out how to get involved into the program. what value you can get out of it, and then the actual process of moving forward into the plan stage. The more involved you get in the program, the more time I'm allocated to you. So as you progress from the learn stage, from that one day, and you get, let's say you apply for the plan and you go and you get your consultant through SEAI on board, I'm allocated more time there to help you through that process as well. So the more involved you get, the more I'm involved with you. So, and the more help you're getting. So it's, what the point is that everything is achievable in this program, and you will always have, you have myself, you have Gavin, you have a consultant, you have Wicklow County Council, you have a lot of people, professional people who have your back in this. So if there's anything daunting there, we're here to eliminate that. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to say hello and assure you that we're here to help, and it's quite easy to sign up. Have any ambitions at all and move at your own pace, I would just say sign up to the network on the SEAI website and just start chatting then and move forward at your own pace. The world's your oyster after that. So that's it. My contact details are available, and contact me if you have any questions, and hopefully I'll be talking to some of you soon enough. Thanks, Mel.
Thank you, Simon. Sorry, I just couldn't find my mute button there for one split second. The silence of the internet. If we could have, I think it's Finian now from Lara, and I met Finian, I think a couple of cold winter's nights there about 2 years ago down in Glendalough, and it's great the movement that has happened in lovely Lara, Glendalough. So Finian, over to you, please.
Yeah, Finian McAvoy is my name, and I'm living in Lara. And I'm just going to run through our journey towards a sustainable energy community from, as Gavin was saying, back in 2 years ago. In September 2018, the Lara Glendalough Tidy Towns Committee were checking the results for the 2018 Tidy Towns competition. One area we did very badly in was on sustainability. We got a miserly figure of 13 points out of 50. This set us thinking on how we must improve in this area. We had our community gardens, we were doing our recycling and our composting, still falling very short on sustainability. Climate change and global warming were constantly making the news on TV and the newspapers. And we felt that we had to play our part in doing something about reducing our carbon footprint if we were to improve our marking in this section. We phoned a number of people to see if they would like to get involved in working towards a more sustainable future. We were delighted with the response. And in a very short time, we had 15 people sitting around the table discussing carbon emissions, biodiversity, and so on. We then set up a structured committee of the 15 people, including chairpersons, joint secretaries, joint treasurers, communication officer, and on the other members. We got in touch with the SEAI for information and guidance on how we should approach the setting up of an SEC and the various steps in getting there. The Sustainable Energy Communities Programme Handbook 2018 was very useful in setting us on our journey. Gavin, Harte, Gavin here tonight, and Raham O'Neill from Wicklow County Council met our committee and gave us information on making an application for funding from the SEAI for the development of an energy master plan. Our next step was to decide the area we should cover. Glenmalure SSE were already operating, and we got in touch with them to see what area they were covering. We decided after that that we would cover 17 towns lands in this area, with Lara more or less in the centre of the lot. Community engagement at this stage. At this stage, we decided to call a public meeting in the Broca Centre to let the wider public know what we had in mind. Over 50 people attended this meeting, and it was obvious that there was a good interest in the concept of setting up the SEC. A very important part of informing the wider public of what we were doing was our monthly parish newsletter, which was distributed to about approximately 400 households by hand in the area. Now, there was about 350 distributed by hand and the other 50 were by email. Two of our committees were involved in the publication of this newsletter since it first started over 20 years earlier. Each month, apart from updating recipients on what was happening, we included an insert of some article dealing with climate change and the consequences of global warming, including, of course, how to make our houses more comfortable with insulation and so forth. Then we set about setting up our application for the SEAI funding to develop the Energy Master Plan. We sent a letter to Raham O'Neill, who was the energy person in Wicklow County Council at that time, and requested Wicklow County Council to act as our lead applicant. With this in mind, this would mean that funding for the Energy Master Plan would come from the SEAI to Wicklow County Council. Wicklow County Council employed the Three Counties Energy Agency to develop the Energy Master Plans for the various SEC groups around the county, and payment for work done would be made from the grant approved by the SEAI to Wicklow County Council and then on to the Three Counties Energy Agency. Each member of the committee signed the community charter, which set out our vision to make a measurable contribution within our community to the long-term sustainability of our environment within a period of 5 years. We decided on an area that we should cover, and we checked the 2016 census of population to establish the number of households in each of the town's lands that we were covering. From this, we were able to get an idea of what our energy costs were, and what, through indicative information from the Three Counties Energy Agency, we also got the year the houses were built, to say from pre-1990 and from 1990 to 1945, and from 1946 to 1960. And for every 10 years then after that, up to the present time, we were able to see when our houses, in the main, when the years roughly when they were built. So non-residential buildings then, including shops, hotels, restaurants, community centres, schools, churches, B&Bs, and the National Parks building and OPW buildings, about 40 of those in this group. We were able to establish from all of those areas what our energy costs were and what our carbon footprint was also. Now this set us on level 2 of funding from the Sustainable Energy Community. Level 2 would grant us €15,000. So having done this, we decided to work away, and this coupled out with our energy spend on our community buildings and other non-domestic buildings showed that we were eligible for the grant of 15,000. Following this, we completed the Energy Master Plan funding application in May 2019 and forwarded it to Raham O'Neill so that he could fill in and sign the sections required by the lead applicant before sending it on to the SEAI for approval. We then, from our own committee, we then signed off, which we hadn't already done, on the latest draft of our Larad Landloch Sustainable Energy Community Constitution, which we were working on over the previous number of weeks. We got the approval for 15,000 from the SEAI in October of 2019. After this, we contacted the Three Counties Energy Agency for a meeting with them. Our first meeting took place on the 17th of January, where we gave a brief on what we expected, such as identifying energy conservation measures that would be of most benefit to our community, and a register of opportunities then being examined in the area for renewable energy projects. We called a public meeting again on the 11th of March and invited the Three Counties Energy Agency to make a presentation about their involvement in developing the Energy Master Plan and taking us through the filling out the domestic and non-domestic surveys which were needed. And the more of those we got in, the more robust our Energy Master Plan would be. A representative from the SEAI on that night gave an overview of the grants that were available. The response to the energy survey was good, with over 40, about 10% of the buildings and 5% of the non-domestic buildings having completed the survey. Fabian from the Three Counties Energy Agency called to assess the buildings, which he had the completed survey forms for. Now we are awaiting the draft report of the Energy Master Plan, after which it will be discussed with the Three Counties Energy Agency before moving towards the implementation stage. And on our behalf, I would like, and on our committee's behalf, I would like to thank everybody for their involvement with us to date on our journey. The Glenmalure SEC, the SEAI itself, Rahim O'Neill, Simon Whelan, Gavin Harte, and the Three Counties Energy Agency for their help to date. I would also like to thank Jim Callery for his help and to let him know that we have opened a credit union account with the funding received from Wicklow County Council for the Community Environment Action Fund. It's in a safekeeping and we will put it to good use as soon as the economy opens up. So thank you all very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Finian. That was great. And I think it's a nice step now to hear on the work that was done in Lara, Glendalough by the Three Counties Energy Agency, and we have Alex Hamilton now, who's going to talk us through some of the work that is involved in completing and doing an energy master plan.
That's great. Thanks very much, Gavin. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. That's great. And can everybody see the screen? I have a few slides there. So can everybody see that? So you can see that I'm sharing the screen okay, Gavin?
I'm not seeing your screen yet.
Okay. Sorry about that. Let's go again.
There you go.
Perfect. Excellent. That's great. Thanks very much, and thanks for having me along this evening. And it's great to see a really big audience from communities all around Wicklow. So I'm here to talk about the Energy Master Plan, so the planning section of the SECs. And just to give you a bit of background about ourselves, I'm from the Three Counties Energy Agency. We're a not-for-profit and product-independent energy agency. So similar to Codima, who operate in the Dublin area, we are a local energy agency, and we operate in the southeast. So our three main counties being Wexford, Carlow and Kilkenny. We have a voluntary board of directors made up of members from the private, public and community sectors. And our experience with the SECs is we have been working on behalf of SEAI as the SEC mentors for the South East region from 2016 to 2019. And we are now the regional coordinators for the South East region. And that's a contract with the SEAI that runs up until 2022. So again, very similar to what Gavin and Simon are doing in Wicklow, we have the same role on behalf of SEAI in our own region in the southeast, which covers Carlow, Kilkenny, Wexford and Waterford. Our relationship with Wicklow County Council, we officially joined forces in 2019, but I personally have been working with Wicklow County Council since I think back in 2013, 2014. I was working with Moira Byrne at the time, and then Rahim, and now Jim. So I've been working with various people in Wicklow County Council throughout the years. But from the Three Counties Energy Agency point of view, we signed a contract to deliver energy management services to Wicklow County Council to assist the council to develop and deliver their own energy efficiency projects and meet their own energy targets. And within that contract and within that agreement that we deliver services for Wicklow County Council is that we work within work with the communities across Wicklow, and we are specifically tasked with completing the energy master plans for the SECs. So that's our role and how we've become involved with Wicklow County Council. So from a procurement point of view, from your SECs, what that means is that the Wicklow County Council have done that part for you, for the SECs. So in order for the SEC to receive the funding from SEAI, you have to procure a contractor or a consultant to do that energy master plan for you. And Wicklow, again, being the partner in this project with the SECs and with the mentors, have completed that role for you. So we have been procured on behalf of Wicklow County Council to deliver the energy master plans for you. The energy master plan, and this is just a rough outline of what is included. I'm going to go through each step just briefly, and I guess what I want to say here is this is about a 2-hour presentation that I'm condensing into 10 minutes just before you all have a heart attack, because I've just said I'm giving a 2-hour presentation. I'm not. I've condensed it into about a 10-minute presentation. The last time I gave this 2-hour presentation, and in fact the last time I gave any face-to-face presentation, was actually at that 11th of March event in Lara where I met the community, and the 11th of March being the day before lockdown. So was the last time I saw real people and presented face to face. So I'm just going to give a very rough overview, or very quick overview of what the Energy Master Plan contains and how we go about developing that master plan for you. It's absolutely critical for all of the SECs and for every community to understand that this is your master plan. Okay, so whoever is delivering your master plan is working with you and your community to deliver a plan for you, because it is your plan and it is your community that is going to have to implement that plan. So if you as a community are not engaged throughout the whole process, what we may see and what we have seen unfortunately in other places is energy master plans that can sit on a shelf because there's been no involvement with the community. So it's really, really critical point that the community engagement from the very start to the very end of the energy master plan has to take place. So the main elements of the energy master plan include the baseline energy data for the SEC. So in other words, and as Finian outlined there, how much energy are you using currently, and what type of energy are you using? And what I mean by that is, are you using electrical energy? Are you using transport energy? Are you using thermal energy? And then within those 3 types, what kind of energy are you using? Oil? Are you using gas? Are you using petrol? Are you using diesel, etc.? So we look at all of the data, and and we create what's called the baseline energy data. That's your starting point. That's what you are using now. We then work with you again within the SEC to set your target, or you set your target and let us know. What I mean by that is, for example, do you want to become a carbon neutral SEC? Or do you want to reduce your energy by 30%? So there are various targets, and again, it's up to you as a community to set that target. How ambitious do you want to be? We then create the register of opportunities. So this is the list of measures. These are the list of opportunities and projects that can be completed within the community. And in order for us to do that, we will come on site and we will look at your buildings, both your what we call domestic buildings, so your houses, your homes, and what we call then the non-domestic, so all of the other buildings, your community buildings, your churches, your schools, your shops, your pubs, etc., hotels. So that's what we call the non-domestic. So we'll come and do a number of audits, and again, I'll go through that in a bit more detail. From that register of opportunities, the plan will then set out a 3-year action plan. So what we do is the register of opportunities is a long list of measures, and what we'll do is we'll help you prioritize those projects and outline which specific projects you can or should deliver on the 3-year action plan. We'll also look at the existing potential renewable projects that could be implemented in the SEC. And then we give you what's called the next steps. So once you have this plan, that's great. Now you've got the plan. What do we do? How are you going to implement it? So there's the next steps. So that's a rough outline of what's in the Energy Master Plan. Again, really, really critical that the community are involved. So the very first thing that we do, and again, Finian mentioned it there, that event that we presented at on the 11th of March, that was our information workshop. So we engage with the community, we let the community know who we are, what we're doing, what is the purpose of the plan, and how we're going to go about it. And also the feedback that we need from the community. So when we do our desktop analysis to get the baseline data, it's all calculated on national data. Okay, so what we need is for you to give us your actual data. So again, it's your community, it's your plan. What is your actual data? So we create what's called the energy survey questionnaire. And again, we'll send that out to everybody in the community. And the more people that can feed into that and give us as much of your actual information and energy data as possible, the more accurate and the more achievable and realistic your energy master plan is going to be. We're also there throughout the process to give feedback and answer any queries from any of the residents within the SEC. So during that survey and after that survey, we're there available to help with any queries. We can help you complete the questionnaire. We can help you find out, help you to find where you get the data from, etc. So we're there the whole way through the process. At the very start, and I missed it there, communications plan. So what we'll do again is we'll work with you and with your community group to create a communications plan. So how do we get the information out there to the community? Do you have, like Finian mentioned, an existing newsletter? That newsletter is already there, so we can piggyback on that. Is there a very strong GEA club who meet every Friday night? So we'll make sure that we contact the GEA club. Is there a church newsletter that goes out? Is there a local radio station, etc., etc.? So we will work with you on what are your local ways of communicating with each other, and we'll come up with a communications plan to make sure that we're getting the message of the SEC and the Energy Master Plan out as far as possible. And most importantly, once all of the community has engaged throughout the process, given us your data, we produce a report. Very, very important that we then come back to the community at the end and we present that report. We will present the findings, we will present the Energy Master Plan back to the community, because again, it's about bringing your plan back to you to develop, to implement. In terms of the baseline data, and again, I'm not going to go into too much detail with these next slides. These slides are slides of part of the 2-hour presentation, but just very briefly, because I want to talk about the energy audits in the buildings and the what we call the housing surveys. So again, what I mentioned earlier is we have the national data that we look at, and we can extrapolate that down to any geographical area based on population. However, in reality, that's not very accurate, because you and your own community could already be very energy efficient or not. So we have to take that national data, but also get all of your data from the surveys that we've asked you to complete, and we'll come up with a balance, looking at a top down and a bottom up. But what we use that data for to start with is to work out what are the site specific energy audits. So where are we actually going to come in to visit sites? Because we cannot visit every site. We cannot visit every home in your community, and we cannot visit every non-domestic building. So we have to choose the best buildings that will be representative of your SEC. And what I mean by that is the register of opportunities that will be created or developed and published within the Energy Master Plan has to be useful to everybody on the community. So for example, if we have a housing estate in a community which has 3 different house types. One is a semi-detached, one is detached, one is a dormer, bungalow, etc. So different types of houses. What we'll do is we will look at all of the houses, and we will pick the most representative sample. So again, what Fintan said there, we look at what are the age of the houses, when were they built, what are the house types, and we do that all from the census data to make sure that we pick the most representative house samples. We will then we do exactly the same with what we call the non-domestic buildings, because, and again, just to be very honest and open with all of the SECs, the Energy Master Plan and the partnership that you have with Wicklow County Council as the lead applicant, the Energy Master Plan is 100% funded. So it's depending on the size of your SEC, 15,000 or 20,000 euro. Okay, so in general, most of them are 15,000 euro. 15,000 euro, which is fully funded by the SEAI, but that's still a limited budget. And the Energy Master Plan, which I hope I'm outlining there, is a large piece of work. So we do have to allow for a certain number of domestic audits and non-domestic audits. So we can't, as I said, visit every single building. So picking the most representative sample and looking at what energy and where is the energy being used and targeting those buildings is critical to work, and again, to work with you in the community. So we might choose 4 non-domestic buildings, and you might say, no, we definitely want this community hall. Absolutely perfect. So even though we will come up with a list that we might recommend, again, it's all about you, and it's about your plan, and it's about you telling us that sounds good, but actually we definitely want this building done, and we will work together. And that's very, very important for us to do. From the domestic side of thing, and I just want to again highlight this, because I think somewhere in the SEAI guidelines it talks about BERs. Okay, and again, I just want to highlight the building energy rating is a certificate for one home. Okay, so if you get a published BER for one home, it's very specific to that one house. So what we do for your Energy Master Plan is we will create what we call a housing energy audit report. And it will, again, as I mentioned, take a representative house type. So this one is an example. This is a semi-detached house built in 1985. It's a cavity wall construction, and it gives us the size of the house. So it's a general house, or a typical house type in this particular area. So what that will allow you as a homeowner, and we will do different house types. So you as a homeowner, even though your house may not have been visited during the Energy Master Plan, you can look through these reports and go, yes, my house is also a semi-detached house, like built around 1985. So I know that this audit report is going to be useful to me, and I'm going to look at that, and that's going to give me an idea of what I can do within my house. So the housing guides that we produce will give a typical house type, and it will give a list of measures that you can do in your house. And then most importantly, it will give a rough price of what the measures cost. So again, if you can say, yeah, I have a semi-detached house, but it's 100 square meters. Well, that's fine. You just take your 100 square meters and you can multiply it by the costs, and that will give you your estimated cost. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. And what we do is we find that much more beneficial for the communities, and the communities, I think, find it much more beneficial from the feedback we've had than publishing a specific BER for one house. So that's the kind of guide that we will produce. What these audits and reports then allow us to do is create what's called the Register of Opportunity. And this is a template SEAI Register of Opportunity. Most likely our Register of Opportunity in your master plan doesn't look like this. Again, we work with you to make sure that the information that is most useful to you in your community is included in the report. But in general, the Register of Opportunities, it's a list of all of the energy saving opportunities that are in your community. And it's based on all of the data that we collect, both from the site visits we do, but also from all of this housing surveys that you have given us. It ranks, we can rank and prioritize the savings. And again, what that allows us to do is create what we call the action plan. So a Register of Opportunities might have, for example, 100 measures in it. It might have every single possible project within your community. But what we do then is go, right, well, these are the first 10, these are the best 10, or the highest priority 10 actions that you should deliver in 2022. And that becomes your 2022 annual action plan. So, and then the next year, you'll go down the list of your Register of Opportunities and take the next 10 priority, and that will become your 2023 action plan, for example. So your register of opportunities will be provided, and from your register of opportunities, you create your action plan of what you're actually going to deliver. My last slide here then is just a brief one on the proposed timeline. So again, we've had experience, and I just want to be very honest with everybody that the Energy Master Plan is a large piece of work and it takes time. So if you're an SEC and you think that you're going to get an Energy Master Plan in 2 months' time so that you can apply for grant funding in January of 2021, no, I'm afraid that's not how it works. So I just want to be, again, very, very clear. It's at very best a 9-month process. In reality, a 12-month process. So in month 1, and I've just given a very simple timeline there or example, but in general, month 1 would be the kickoff meeting where we come to meet the community or the SEC committee, and we agree the plan. Month 2 is then the community engagement. That's when we'll come along and we'll have our initial kickoff meeting within the community. Month 3, we'll do the desktop study and look at your baseline data. Month 4 to 6 is when we actually come out on site to do the energy audits. And then from that, month 7 is the register of opportunities. Month 8 is the report. That's when we will actually have a draft report. Again, the draft report is sent to the SEC committee, who will review it, come back to us with any changes you might want. And then we will finalize the report ready to present it in month 9 to the community. So that's when everything goes very well. So again, I just wanted to highlight that the timelines involved in creating an Energy Master Plan. Again, very, very critical piece is that this is your plan. And if the community need to engage, need to work with us as the consultants and give us much feedback, because again, we can do an energy master plan for you with no engagement, but it's not going to be a very helpful, a very useful plan for you. So the more engagement and the more we collaborate and work together, the more successful the master plan is going to be. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alex. That was great. It really is a journey, and I suppose that's the critical thing for people to remember here. I'd like to invite Jim Callerley now, please, to give us the representative of the position from Wicklow County Council. So thank you, Jim.
Okay, can you see that screen?
Yes.
Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. I did a quick peek at the participants at the start to see if I could recognize any names, and I saw a lot of familiar names there. We also saw a lot of names that were new to me, which is good to see. So just to start off, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Jim Callery, and I work in the Environmental Awareness Office of Wicklow County Council. I'm also part of the climate action team in Wicklow County Council. There's 4 of us working now in the climate action team. And I know one of my colleagues is here tonight as well. Mary Cattle is also tuning in tonight for tonight's webinar. So in my role as an environmental awareness officer, I'm working across a range of different campaigns and programs on awareness and education on environmental issues, and sustainable energy communities is one of the areas that I'm keen to play a bigger role in the future. I just took up the role of working with the sustainable energy communities there recently. Finian did mention Raheem, who was working on it before, and we're looking forward to continuing to develop the network of sustainable energy communities across the county. First of all, to look at why Wicklow County Council is working with yourselves as communities in sustainable energy communities. You saw there already, there's great support from SEAI through the regional and county mentoring. There's great technical assistance from the 3 counties energy agencies. So what role is there for ourselves in Wicklow County Council? First of all, I think an important point to make is we're on the same journey as the communities across Wicklow. We also are looking at how we can improve our energy performance and take action on climate, as Breach mentioned earlier when she opened proceedings. So we're on the same journey. I think we can share our experience. I think through the sustainable energy communities, we have a great opportunity to work together and develop climate action, focusing on mitigation measures. Working on the sustainable energy communities is also delivering on some of the actions that we've already committed to through our climate adaptation strategy and through the climate charter, both of which we signed up to in 2019. So in both of those documents, we have committed to working on citizen engagement and working with communities in the county on climate action measures. We're also going to be working next year on developing a climate action plan, which will look not just at adaptation, but also at mitigation measures. And we believe that sustainable energy communities will be one of our key action areas in that upcoming plan. For the communities itself, we believe that this partnership approach with ourselves as lead partner in the energy master planning, that this will allow communities to focus very much their work on the engagement of their own communities, seeking community engagement and input into the energy master plans, rather than the administration of the grant and financial end of the grant. So we can take on that work while the community focuses on working on the their input into the energy master plan, as outlined by Alex in the last presentation. So we're there to help streamline the administration of the grant process and take on some of the work of applying for that grant and administering the payment for the energy master plan and the claiming of the grant from SEAI. And we can do this role quite effectively. We have staff in our organisation who are familiar with the processing of grant applications and claims and the financial administration end of it. So it makes sense that we're working together with communities on this programme, and we're taking on the role as lead partner in the application for the grant and making that claim going forward. So effectively what we're doing in our role is we're helping the communities overcome two barriers that have been identified with SECs that have held back on progress for communities. It is a big undertaking to do a sustainable energy community and to develop your energy master plan. And it does require financial resources and administration, and it requires a process to get the consultants in place. We can undertake those tasks. We can provide the funds to pay for the completion of an energy master plan, and then we make the claim back retrospectively. So we join with the community in making the grant application to SEAI as lead partner in the application. We make the payment when the work is completed, and then we claim that money back. So the community itself doesn't have to go looking for the financial resources to make that grant application, provide the bridging funding, and pay the consultants. And as already mentioned by Alex, we have a long working relationship with Three Counties Energy Agency. They are working for ourselves as well, and they can provide that expertise to communities to undertake the auditing and the works on the energy master plan. So we can help the communities overcome those two barriers on the funding, and also providing the expertise, the technical expertise to undertake your energy master planning. How it works, the SEC, to start the process, will work with the SEAI mentor. So you've already met Simon earlier on in the proceedings, to do the groundwork and prepare your application as a new SEC, and get yourself ready for the process of starting an energy master plan. The energy consultants are then procured by ourselves, the Three Counties Energy Agency, to work with yourselves in the community on your energy master plan. Once that plan is completed, the cost of it is paid by ourselves, and then we are able to make a claim to SEAI to claim back that grant for the completion, once completion has been achieved, of your energy master plans. So we recoup the funds back from the SEAI after paying for the works, and the work has been completed. And that frees up yourselves in the community to focus really on your input, getting the community involved, getting that local engagement, which, as Finian showed, is critical to the success of delivering on an energy master plan. Finian talked there about covering a wide area. I think it was 7 townlands in the Lara Glendalough area, and over 50 people attending a meeting. There's a lot of work there, getting all those people together, getting them involved, keeping them engaged in the process, and that's where your energies should be focused, while we take on some of the administration and financial support that is needed to get this process moving and get the work completed. So in partnership, we can deliver this work a lot quicker and a lot more smoothly for all involved. As an active partner in the process, it's worth pointing out that Wicklow County Council, as I already mentioned, we are on the same journey to improve our energy performance. We ourselves have a target set at national level of delivering a 50% improvement on energy performance by 2030. We have ourselves registered as a sustainable energy community. So we're working through some of the same processes as any of you who will be starting into the programme. We have an energy management team in place within Wicklow County Council, and this is representatives from across the different services in the organisation. We have already been undertaking the process of auditing all our buildings, all our services, and our fuel usage across the organisation. All the machinery that we use, all the vehicles that we operate, all that has been audited and looked at. So we have our own register of opportunities already drawn up, and we're looking at those projects and prioritising based on how much they're going to cost, what the payback is, and which ones need to be prioritised and will deliver most for us. To date, we've achieved a 17% reduction improvement in energy performance. We're still below where we want to be. We have a couple of big projects in the pipeline. One of the projects that has been rolled out at the moment is the replacement of street lighting with LED. That should make a big difference on our energy performance. Street lighting is a big user of electricity for the organisation. We also have a big project coming up next year to install a solar carport in county buildings, which should provide a significant amount of electricity for county buildings. It will probably even exceed demand in the building at peak times. We're also rolling out a wide range of projects across buildings right across the county, whether it's depots, libraries, district offices, recycling centres. We're working through the full suite of buildings that we have and implementing measures to reduce our energy consumption. We will be applying for a Better Energy Community Grant in 2021, and this is something that we will probably be doing in years to come as well. And we will always be looking for partners who also want to take part in this grant. So there is opportunities there to work with yourselves in the Sustainable Energy Community Network on a Better Energy Community Grant going forward. So we look forward to working with those communities that achieve their energy master plan on future grant applications, working together to get those projects implemented on the ground and improving on our energy performance right across the county. Just before I finish up, I also want to show you another project that we've been working on recently, and this is a mapping tool to map actions and projects that are delivering on the Sustainable Development Goals across County Wicklow. And these are actions that can be delivered by ourselves in Wicklow County Council, or by local community groups, or in partnership, the two of us working together. Anyone can put up an action. There's an online application form available on our website, wicklow.ie, under the Climate Action section. And anyone can fill in. It's a brief process, takes about 5 to 10 minutes, fill in some details about their action or project and put it up there for everyone to see. I think it's a great way of sharing information on what's happening across the county and encouraging others to get involved in doing similar types of actions and projects. And just with relation to the work that you are doing there in sustainable energy communities, what are the goals that this network is actually delivering on? Obviously, the primary one is affordable and clean energy. That's the primary sustainable development goal being delivered by SECs across the county, but it's also delivering on climate action, partnership for the goals. You have great partnership here, as Gavin mentioned at the beginning. You have SEAI, you have the mentoring from Codima and the county mentor, Simon. You have the Three Counties Energy Agency. You have ourselves in Wicklow County Council, and you have the local communities themselves, and that is a great network for partnership for delivering on this area of climate action. There's also potential to deliver on the goal of decent work and economic growth. There are opportunities there in the energy efficiency sector for County Wicklow and for people in the county, and there also is the possibility through sustainable energy communities to deliver on industry innovation and infrastructure for the county going forward. So your work in sustainable energy communities will deliver strongly on all 5 of those goals going forward. Okay. And just to finish up, what is our goal in Wicklow County Council with relation to our involvement in sustainable energy communities? It's to provide active leadership on climate action, as mentioned by Breach at the opening, leading by example ourselves. We want to be advocates for climate action in our own policies and practice, but also in our dealings with citizens across County Wicklow. And we believe that working with yourselves, your communities, through the Sustainable Energy Communities programme will help us deliver on this goal. And we look forward in the coming years, months and years, to be working together with you on delivering your local energy master plans and delivering actions out of those energy master plans going forward. So thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much, Jim. That was great. We're just running a little bit late, but we have a few questions in. I just wanted to maybe run them through the panel, maybe just to maybe if we can address them as quickly as we can, because as I say, I don't want to keep people too late, but maybe I could just run with Andre Dargan has asked, do you have a database of people interested in the different communities around the county so that we can connect and set up a group in our local area? I'll just give you that one. Each community in Wicklow is listed on the SEAI website, and there should be a contact person with with each one of those communities. So if you wanted to get in touch with someone who is geographically close to you, I think that's probably the best place to start to find out who's involved. Otherwise, if there isn't somebody there, find out a few people in your local area and get one going, and be that magnet to bring other people around you. Ronan, great webinar, very informative. I'm inquiring if there's any support or guidance on implementing the ISO 5001 Energy Management Certificate for companies. Alex, could you take a look at that one for me, or would you have any knowledge on that?
Yeah, there is support and guidance for the public sector in ISO 50001. For companies, I'm sure there are, again, on the SEAI website. And sorry, Ronan, I'm not 100% sure of that. I work mainly with the public sector, but I'm absolutely certain that there will be. There's definitely guidance on the SEAI website on ISO 50001. If there is support, I'm not sure of, but again, if you contact SEAI, they'll be able to help you on that one.
Okay, Clancredo, is an SEC a suitable vehicle to progress a specific renewable energy generation project in a community rather than a more general target of reducing energy usage through a combination of retrofitting, training, renewable energy generation? How does this impact the EMP process? Roisin. Maybe I'll just give you that one. I mean, all of those things work together. The SEC is an entire energy audit, an opportunity to look at everything, transport. So I think as a suitable vehicle, it certainly has the potential to be. I think what we've tried to explain in today's webinar is it's about getting that partnership right. So, you need motivators in your local community. You need expertise in the likes of Three Counties Energy Agency, you need support and technical advice from the likes of CODEMA, and you need that financial administrative support from the County Council. So hopefully our ambition is that that combination of partnership and stakeholders will build suitable vehicles where people can progress specific renewable energy projects, and as well as those other ones that you mentioned. Tina Roach, you're asking, how are communities meeting the difference in funding between the grants and the cost of retrofitting, especially for low income families? Again, I'm happy to give an answer on that one. I mean, the grants vary. So if you're a private householder or business, a grant level is running at about 30%. Whereas if you're energy poor, you could be up to 80, 90, 100%, depending on that. So there's community groups could be in at 50% grant funding. So yes, there is a job of work, I suppose, for some people to have to raise that extra money, and that is difficult. And I think one of the areas that definitely needs attention in this is the financial model to unlock the projects. As I say it to communities, you know, there are no shortage of projects. It's the capacity to get them done, the skills on the ground. And then I think the other ingredient is that financial mechanism to allow works to really kick off. There is billions of euros of projects that need to be carried out. It's about getting this capacity and skills to get them in place. I'm keeping an eye on the clock. If you don't mind, folks, unless there's anything else pressing, is it possible to send each person a webinar copy of the various presentations? It has been recorded, so we will be putting it up online. I can check with my my co-panelists, with Alex and Jim, about sharing your presentations. I'm sure you don't have any problems with that, and we can store them on the CODEMA website. We'll make that effort to make it available. I'll also then follow up with you all by email to let you know when those resources are available. So look, in conclusion, if I can just thank everybody. So Breach Kilkenny, Director of Services, Wicklow County Council, Simon Whelan, mentor, please do contact Simon. He's brilliant, fantastically well connected. He's got technical skills, human skills, everything you need there to join up. So join the network, get involved with Simon. Finian, really you're a great inspiration for communities, and I think for a small village in Wicklow, you've shown great work, and I'm hopeful your points will go up in the Tidy Towns competition next year with all that work you're doing. Alex, thank you for your work and the technical skills that you bring to it. And Jim, a safe pair of hands in the County Council for the partnership moving forward, carrying on probably what is the boring work, but the essential work in getting everything done, that administrative and procurement end of it. So look, folks, please, if you're interested in this, go to the SEAI website, join the network, and we'll join you on that journey. So thanks again, and good night to everybody.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Gavin.